first guest is the host of The Readout on MSNBC. She's so opinionated, yet funny at the same time. Please welcome our friend, Joy Reid. Joy!
How you doing?
How you doing? First, we'll start with the shoes, then I want to ask about your attire. Okay, shoe cam, please.
Here we go.
Oh. Wow. You know what's really funny? Not funny, haha, but just interesting about the news business is that you can actually wear shoes like that as a newswoman, and you could actually wear a sexy shirt with a whole lot of cream. Yes. And you're very stylish.
It's different.
Yeah. Now, when did you start? Did you have to wear a blazer and, you know, the same hairstyle all the time?
I did the blazer and I did the news cut for a very long time. I used to wear my hair very short.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I sort of came into the TV news business as an on-air, TV news person during the Obama era. Mm-hmm. And by then, things had changed. And I gotta tell you, I credit Michelle Obama for it. When I worked in news as a producer, you had to have a blazer, you had to have a certain haircut.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of looked very similar to one another. I can remember a woman at my old station locally getting in trouble for trying to wear leopard print. And the general manager was like, you can't wear that. But Michelle Obama came in and went sleeveless, and it changed everything about the way women can look professionally, including in the news business.
Yeah. Now, a little fact for you, Joy, and I found this impossible to believe, you're the first Black woman to host a primetime cable show?
Wow. Yes, it's basically, and there are only two Black primetime hosts. It's me and Don Lemon. I'm the first Black woman. And, it is amazing, right? In the 21st century, we haven't had any Black women hosting a primetime news show. But listen, Wendy, you have been here in terms of being a pioneer, so you get it. It's sort of, I've been listening to you. I'm a huge fan of yours back since the radio days. And it is difficult to be out front, right? But you were somebody who, when I first started really getting into radio, I was listening to you. So you know how this feels. It's like, it's kind of, you look around, there's nobody else. There's not a lot of people there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And by the way, I watch regularly. And no, you would not be good for Jeopardy because Jeopardy comes on at 7 o'clock and so do you. So now you have to read the fine print in your, you're smart enough to do that, but what's better than being at home in your house hosting a primetime news show?
It's exciting. And I'm in my house sometimes that I'm not. Like I've been going into the studio lately, and we've just started to get, sort of creep back into the studio, which I love because, like you, I love my crew and I love my team and I love being in person with everyone. So I have sort of come out of the basement now and I'm really doing the show more often in the studio. But you're absolutely right. Like probably the one thing that I hate about my job. I love my job, but I hate that I'm on against Jeopardy because I love Jeopardy and would love to be watching Jeopardy, but I can't watch it now because I'm on at 7 p.m. So, I just, that's the one sort of downside to the time slot that I'm in. But other than that, it's so much fun. And even though like the news that we're doing is so dark and it's so, disturbing.
Horrible.
Right. But we buck each other up, the crew and the team. We make it fun despite it all. We make it because we feel so lucky to be doing what we're doing. We feel so blessed. And I'm sure that you feel this way too. No matter what you have to talk about, having this platform is such a blessing that you have to approach it that way.
Well, Joy is married and she's got children who, by the way, when she does do her show from the house, sometimes the kids walk a little hard and you might hear some thumping upstairs. Now, she and her husband, they're partners in the production of the show. He holds the camera, and right when you're at home, right?
Yeah, so Jason is he's a documentary film producer, so he's a tech guy. So, he and my daughter are sort of the de facto crew when we're in the basement. So he's setting up the lights. He's basically being the, stage manager. He's kind of doing like 3 or 4 different jobs. And Winsome, my daughter, is sitting by the side, like being the anchor producer and handing me the script and making side commentary during the commercials. Let's just be honest. And so they're critiquing the show throughout it, and we're having a good time. So whether I'm in the studio or at home, I have a fun crew.
Yeah. Congratulations on your nomination for a Peabody Award for that documentary that you did on Harry Belafonte.
Yeah, it's called The Sit-In. It was really exciting. So we got a chance to, interview Harry Belafonte. And I'll tell you my funny Harry Belafonte story. The way that we ended up getting the interview, Reverend Al Sharpton, my big brother Reverend Al, was interviewing him for his show. And so I went down, I texted Rev, I'm like, please introduce me to Harry Belafonte. I have this amazing idea. Joan Walsh, who is a friend, had written this column about him hosting The Tonight Show, which I didn't know. So I told her, you've got to make this into a documentary. So long story short, I go down and I said to Mr. Belafonte, I said, Mr. B, I got to tell you, told him the idea for the documentary. And I said, my mom was in love with you. I just have to be honest. She talked about you all the time. She had all your Calypso albums. And he looks up from his chair and he says to me, your mother, my dear, had excellent taste. And so I think we kind of bonded from there. And so we did the interviews. We got to interview Dionne Warwick at our house, which was amazing. So it was a really great experience.
Did you hear me talk about one of my radio heroes, Matt Siegel in Boston? By the way, Joy went to Harvard and graduated. Mm-hmm. Did you hear me talk about? Did you listen to Maddie?
I didn't. You know what's so funny? I didn't. I was listening to you tell the story. And, we share a lot in common, Wendy. I worked in radio as well. And so when you were talking about the way that it's changed, another fun fact, Kristen Thomas, who worked on your show, who recently went back to Miami, her dad is my mentor. Her father, James T., is my mentor. He's 90% of the reason that I have a career in broadcasting is James T. Thomas.
But do you find it difficult? I mean, at least, your show is only an hour. Our show is only an hour. But Matt's got to be there for 4 or 5 hours a day and is being censored. What do you say?
It's difficult because of the show that James T. and I did. I was his producer / co-host, and we were on for 4 hours. And back then, we're talking about the mid-2000s, there was such a much wider parameter of stuff you could talk about, stuff you could say. Yeah. I mean, if you think about even like Eddie Murphy's Raw, that comedy routine, he couldn't do that now. So the world has changed so much that I think for somebody like Maddie, who's been in the business for so long, it's got to be a little disorienting, right? The limitations on it. And, because people are just more sensitive. And people are more sensitive to how much pain you can cause by what in the past would have just been jokes. Yeah. And I think that we've come a long way in learning about the psychology. I mean, you talked about therapy. I think because more people are understanding today in a way that we weren't back in the day during doing radio about how things can impact people long term. Yeah. Just from a joke that's on the radio, just from something you think is not a big deal and just being funny. Yeah. So he has to make that adjustment, and he's a professional. I think he'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out. That's a good paycheck. Hey, Joy, thank you so much for being here. Now, eventually, you're going to barbecue, please. And then I'll drive up the West Side Highway. I'll be there any second. But she works all the time.
We are barbecuing, sister. We are barbecuing. This is happening, yes. We need to have a little Joy and Wendy barbecue. It will be fabulous.
I would love that. The Readout with Joy Reid airs weeknights at 7 on MSNBC. Let's watch together.